Hello everybody and welcome back to Knaveswell Farm. Today we're not going to be doing any harvesting. I think having 2 episodes in a row of harvesting would be a bit too much, so today we're actually going to move on to a different job. We've bought quite a bit of machinery, so I'm looking forward to using it, and they are behind me, so I'm going to take a look at those in a minute or two. But first of all, let's just put this tractor out of the way. I think, yeah, if we just put it in the barn here, that'd be the best place because it's out of the way. Now you can probably see we have a man truck with a low loader, and you've also probably seen the Claas tractor just there. Now I've been wanting to get a compact tractor or a smaller tractor for quite a lot of episodes. Now admittedly this still is not a compact tractor, it's still quite a big tractor actually. I can't shut the door. There we go, and the engine. Okay, so yeah, it's obviously still a big tractor. It's an Axos 340. Now weirdly, when I bought this, the price was minus £54,283, so it actually gave us money back for buying it, which is very weird. So I had to put the price up for the truck which we bought just here, and this is essentially a modified version of the base game Lorry. So this is going to be for loading up some very small equipment here. And I got the idea of doing a bit of, we're going to do mowing today, and we're going to use all the small pieces of equipment on the Axos. I got this idea off another YouTuber called Funky Farmer, who actually does real life farming. His channel is way more educational than mine is, but in real life he was using, I think he was a Massey Ferguson 265, which is quite an old tractor, but still a very, I would say desirable tractor because they're just good, they last forever, they just keep going. But yeah, we're not going to use one of those today, we're going to use the Claas, but still, the smaller equipment is what we're actually going to use in field number 25, which is a field we've actually already done, but we have spread the slurry in there, so it should be quite profitable. We're not really doing it for profit, we're actually going to turn it into hay, and it'll probably be for the livestock, but I just really want to use some smaller equipment. It's something which I've been wanting to do for quite a long time. The big machinery is good, but I think you can have too much of it. So this does have, well, technically it has interactive control because you can press the spacebar and the cursor comes up, and also on here it says enable IC. However, I don't think there is any buttons which appear for you to click on. You have to use the keypad to do this, and keypad 8 is for the rear window. I think 7 and 9 are for the doors. That's 7. And that's 9, yep. And keypad 5, not too sure what keypad 5 does. Aha, there we go. It's like a hitch, the higher up hitch. But it also does have another feature, and that is if you press X, it puts the 3-point linkage down, and press Z, it puts the bonnet up, as you can see there. So it's got some features. It's not totally basic, which is really good. And the detailing is actually quite good as well. So looking forward to using it. But what we need to do is we need to load all of this up onto the low loader. So actually the lorry is the first machine we need to be in. Let's just jump out of here. I don't know if it's like that in real life, but the door opens the opposite direction. Quite a neat idea. Now what I really love about this lorry is the cameras which you've got situated around the exterior. There is even an above view, I think, of the trailer. Not too sure which one it is because the trailer isn't attached, but we'll soon find out. Okay. So the trailer doesn't actually come with the cab. They're 2 separate mods, both of them are linked below. Let's just straighten this up a bit. The mirrors don't work, I don't think they ever did though. I can't remember, it's been such a long time since they used the base game Lorry. I'm not sure if they ever worked or not. But we'll put the ramp down on the trailer. Love the beacons, they always look good. and let's begin to load up. So I don't know if there's a locking script. I don't think there is, so we're just going to have to be steady. First of all, we're going to put the rake on there, or the windrower, whatever you want to call it. Let's just jump out. Actually, I think I probably prefer using the numpad buttons to open the door. I think it's just easier. And I think probably the best way of going about this is reversing up the trailer, because then it's just, you know, easier to get them off again. But I was searching last night for decent low loader mods, and there are actually a lot to choose from, so it's really difficult to go for this one, but I liked it because it's got like the storage place at the front. Not necessarily helpful for us, but it just looks good. And also it's actually got these like checkerboard strips where you drive the wheels, so I'm guessing there is more traction and it's harder to wear as well. Another thing I really love about the Axos is the beacon, and a lot of older Massey Fergusons used to have this round style beacon rather than the cylindrical beacon, and I actually prefer it that way. I think Massey Ferguson has stopped doing that now, but yeah, I like it. The mower is going to be the main tool we use today. We'll be cutting the field, and because it's going to be hay, there'll be nothing else we can do today. Ah, that could be an issue. As soon as you lower it down, it actually unfolds, so we're going to have to just be a little bit unrealistic, and we're going to have to drop it straight off. Just take the PT off first. We might be able to go a bit further back. Okay, so it should be okay there. It is now hailing. This was expected. It's a good job we're not doing the harvest. But the main reason why I'm not doing it today is because I like to you know, mix up the jobs we do. I hate doing harvesting every day. I love harvesting, but when you do it episode after episode, it can get a bit tedious. I did do like a vote the other day asking what you want to see more of, and most people said you want to see grass work, so that's what we're going to do. I think for now that should be enough. Oh, it's rolling off. How weird. In that case, it's going to have to stay on the tractor. We will be doing this field as conventional bales, so we're going to have to get the baler, but they're very cheap. That's what's so good about it. Let's just shut the window, if I remember which control it is. Let's just take a look here. Oh, you can't do it with it attached. That's weird. There we go. We'll reattach it. Better put the handbrake on too. And I'm hoping everything is going to stay put. It should do, providing I drive slow enough. So you can see there we've got the camera. That's like one mounted to the back of the cab. Very difficult, I know. It doesn't look good. That is a very tight turning, and probably never designed to have an articulated lorry down it. But while we're driving down here very slowly, I think we'll just go through the different cameras, see what there is. So that's an above view, so you can see your load, and we can see at the moment it's not shifting, it's staying where it is, so that's very good. Obviously that's like a dash cam. Rear view again, but the other side, and that is pretty much, that's the one we started off with, looking from the back of the top of the cab down your trailer, all of which are very handy, but probably actually this one, and in real life you'd never get this camera because you'd never have one hovering above your cab. But off to field number 25 to start the big job, and I'm looking forward to it. Just can't wait to use some smaller equipment. It could get very interesting at the bottom of here because there's not really anywhere to park. In fact, it might be a good idea to take the combine harvester back to the shed, because it's just been left there and it is raining. So before we sort of get in the way, I'll just put this here. We'll leave the engine running for now. Jump into the Tucano. Very good combine. I've also got the header on the back of the combine instead of using the John Deere. So if we put it straight into the shed, that is probably the best place for it. This is field 25 on our right hand side. You can probably remember me doing it before, but it does need to be done again. The PK isn't that good. The nitrogen is very good, but I want to get it cut. The header is staying in place good. That is very important, because getting it back on this narrow track will be next to impossible. Really bumpy. And this field is growing as well. It's looking good. The grass is growing too. I think we might have to spin around here actually. I don't want to crush the crops, so I have to do a few turns here. Probably best to take the header trailer off, put the combine alongside. There we go. Yes, I wasn't intentionally waiting to hit the back wall, it's just how it turned out to be. Right, that should do. Okay, so let's just run back over to the lorry. Looks pretty good. Oh, beacons. Always important, otherwise the battery will be flat. Good. I don't know if you can cut when it's actually hailing. I don't know if they class it as rain, but yeah, I think yes, they do. It says you can't, well, with the combine it says you can't thresh during rain or hail. So we'll probably just have to wait. Here goes. So it might be one of those situations where we have to unload on the road. Otherwise it's going to be just chaos. So we better put the warning lights on. There we go. I like the way that the ramp actually raises the rear up. It might not be totally realistic to do that, but it does make it a lot more stable when unloading. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take everything off now, but we're going to put them up there. Very close to field number 9, but it's like the storage area. So this is the tedder. It's going to come in handy. We better drop this off first of all. Ah. It's now classed as silage, so that can be sold when we're ready. No! Where are you going? We need you! Come back! That didn't really go to plan. I'm sure we'll be able to fish it out later. I don't know why it rolls quite so well. You can't really put a handbrake on it though. Okay, next we've got the finger bar mower. This is what we're going to use today. And when we're finished with the lorry, we'll put it in the yard, because otherwise it's going to be totally in the way. In case you're wondering, the implements we're using here are from the Farming Classics pack, a very good pack by Giants. Totally free to download. And finally, we've got, I think it's the rake. Yep. Okay, so let's just take this off. You can also put a front loader on this tractor, forgot to mention. So that could come in handy when feeding animals or, I don't know, just moving stuff about. Now, will this one roll away? I'm surprised the other one did, really. Giants' things don't usually have strange glitches like that. I suppose if you can call it a glitch, it's not necessarily a glitch, but they don't tend to do stuff like that, like roll away from you. Right, so let's just jump out of here, back into the lorry, get things tidied up, and then we'll begin to mow if we can do. This could be quite interesting. You know what? I think it's probably easier just to reverse all the way back up to the top. Might take a while, but I think it is the easiest solution. And then, yeah, just in here. That should do nicely. So one thing I do really like about this is the tyres. If you look at this, don't know why the hazards aren't going off. There we go. Yeah, the tyres, the tread is just immense. And also it's like, I think you can lower the tyre pressures as well. Maybe only if the engine is running. There we go. And you can actually see the hose that goes to it to adjust the tyre pressures. Comes out there and then into the tyre. So yeah, it's well made. It's a nice modification. Right, so back into field 25. Let's just shut the gate, otherwise it'd be in the way. And not totally familiar with using a machine like this because obviously it only cuts on one side, but I'm guessing you go around the headland first of all like you do with that John Deere mower conditioner that we use on a Taste of Donegal. Will it let us do it? Oh, we can do. We're in luck. Wow, that looks pretty good. Yeah, so when we've done a few headlands, we'll then come back on ourselves the opposite direction and cut what we're driving on currently. I think that's what you do. It's missing a few bits. I'm guessing it's because it's quite a big tractor. It's a small tractor compared to most, but it's obviously very modern. Very modern compared to what this would be originally used on. So there's bound to be like a small issue, but overall it's not too bad. I think we can live with it. Oh, it's field number 10. I've really gone off that field and it was all my fault. Yeah, what you'd usually use this on is like a vintage tractor, maybe a compact tractor, but I love the animation down here. It looks so good. If you're new to Farming Simulator, it's definitely worth downloading this vintage pack. It's really got a lot of decent stuff in there. And this time it should be very simple. We'll just stay on the same track and yeah, it does its own thing. It's every time it jumps up. Maybe if we slow down a bit, see if it makes any difference. Sometimes it doesn't, it's just the way the mod is, but yeah, it's not too bad. I think it's all part of it anyway if you miss a few bits, because if it's an old piece of equipment it isn't going to be very sharp unless it's been maintained properly. It's obviously very old. It should miss a bit here. Yep. Right on cue. It's because of the terrain. The tractor's probably too big. but I'm really not worried. This is one of those fields where you can't really decide which way to do it because it's just a triangle. Usually you go around the headland and then go up and down, but with this field I don't think you can really do that. Last time I didn't, I just kept going around the circle. So I think I'll stick with that method. It seemed to work quite well. It's like cutting probably 75% and leaving the rest. The soil moisture is actually the optimum amount, it's very good, and it's not going to go up because the hail doesn't count as moisture for some reason. I think it's only rain. So yeah, this is the perfect time to be doing it. Okay, it's been going for probably 5-10 minutes and things are going okay. You're probably looking at it and thinking, no, things are not going okay. And you'll probably be right actually, but you know, it's just part of it. It's nice to use some different equipment. I admit it's not going perfectly well, but when you're using a piece of equipment so old, you would kind of expect that. I think really it's doing a pretty decent job. Nothing perfect. Just looking forward to using the other older stuff as well. Just got to finish off, not too far. Right, the final triangle. I've been trying to get the bits which look to have been missed, but just can't get them. Sometimes if you go at them at a different angle to what I cut them at before, it can help, but not always. So they're just going to have to be left. But I think really, we've got most of it. Although it looks very scruffy, I think we've got most of it. Like 80%, maybe even 90%. Yeah, the triangle at the end is always difficult. And I think, really, with the exception of this bit here, that is as much as we can get. Everything else just, for some reason, won't cut. I think it's just the terrain, really. But there we go. We are finished. So, we fold it up, switch it off, and we'll head back to the yard. And then next week, we'll either, first of all, continue harvesting, or we'll come and do a bit of raking or tedding. Just depends what the weather is going to be like. Yeah, tedding first, because it's going to be hay, and then it'll be time to rake it up. And then it'll be baling. Looking forward to the baling. Conventional bales. Haven't really decided the best spot for this, but there might be a space up here. Yeah, that'll do. Just in here behind, or in front of, the other tedder. So, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. It's been slightly different to usual. Yeah, it's quite hard to think of different things to do, as Farming Simulator 15 has been out for so long now. We're just sort of waiting for 17. But hopefully, yeah, hopefully that you enjoyed that. It was something different. And next time, we will continue in that field. So, thanks for watching, and see you again soon. Bye for now.